Welcome to the ITM Podcast.
This is episode 334 of the ITM Podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the Christmas season. My name is Joey Copponi, that's Scott NEville, and the Boston Red Sox have gifted to us this Christmas season something to talk about. Scott, how you doing?
Dude, we got a guy, and there's a complete consensus, and everyone's happy.
Well, kind of. Well, some of that's true, definitely.
We got a guy.
That part, you can't deny that. If you want to debate me on whether or not the Sox got a guy, I'll tell you to go kick rocks. They got a guy. Let's just jump right into it. There's no point in beating around the bush. Willson Contreras traded to the Boston Red Sox from the St Louis Cardinals. In the full package, he came along with some cash. He came with $8 million, reports are saying, in exchange for right-handed pitcher Hunter Dobbins and minor leaguers Blake Aida and another guy.
And say it. Talk to me.
I don't want to say it the way that I'm think it goes.
Hit it.
Is it Yoiker Fajardo?
Oh, I mean, you're asking the wrong guy. But let's go with that.
Yoiker Fajardo is the most Steve Peralt fucking name I've ever heard in my life. That's such like a making up a name on the spot. Fajardo is made up, but that's also coming from Joey Copponi. So what the fuck am I talking about? I don't laugh at people's names. I think it's rude. So a little bit more detail here on the Contreras package. He is here for 2, possibly 3 years. He is owed $18 million in 2026. Well,
2 years.
Possibly 3.
It's 2 years.
He's owed $18 million in 2026, $17 million in 2027, and a $20 million club option in 2028 for what would be his age 36 season. So
don't worry about that.
You never know. They could want inflation's crazy, man. $20 million in 2028 could be like,
Yep.
That could be like a rookie deal.
2-year deal. It's a 2-year deal. He's here for 2 years.
He's here for 2 years. The plan is to split him between first and DH. Scott, give me your instant reaction.
I was actually happy about this one. This is the first one. Normally, I get upset about the Hall coming back, and I think everyone, people have pointed out getting the extra $8 million and probably that costing you Fajardo versus a different player. That's pretty stupid. But overall, good player. I like Dobbins, but I think with the current depth of the team, it's not detrimental. And Willson Contreras is certainly more impactful than Hunter Dobbins. At least you'd hope. This is the cleanest trade for me. Like a lot of the other trades, I had to kind of digest and get used to and be okay with it. This one I was pretty happy with from the jump.
Here's the thing with the package. You and I sat down and we went through the Red Sox pitching depth because we were talking about how Craig had made a comment about how the Red Sox were, moving from an area of depth and they believe that pitching is one of those areas. And we were like, really? And then we sat down and we really looked at starter depth on the Red Sox. Hunter Dobbins isn't a guy who you want, starting game 1 of the ALCS, but if you just go through, God forbid, a long laundry list of injuries, who your starters would be. And we got 11, 12 names. And we kind of went through and we're talking about, who could be on the move, Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early, which of these guys would kind of be on the chopping block. I don't remember us really throwing Hunter Dobbins' name around, but in this context, it totally makes sense. There's obviously a more immediate impact. I mean, I'm bummed to see Hunter Dobbins go. I'm bummed, but I would agree. Also, that's why I think you should just sign free agents. Then you don't have to do this, and you can just get players for nothing but money. But if a trade was going to happen, I'm okay with this one.
Yeah, I think we didn't really talk about Dobbins because he tore his ACL and he's still recovering. So you wouldn't expect this to be the time where you could get a guy like Willson Contreras with Dobbins in the mix. Also, I think the reason why this one doesn't hurt quite as bad is because we have kind of we've seen the Tolle in the early projections, those kind of trades, those kind of rumors, and when you prepare for that, maybe, and then it's Dobbins, it's like, all right, that doesn't hurt quite as bad. They added Oviedo. Is that how you say his name?
Yes,
I know
sir.
a lot about the guy, but I never know their names. And you look at, and then Gray, obviously. So when you go down the list now, you're looking at guys like Early and Tolle in that like 5 to 7 range of your depth, and you feel a lot better about that because those guys could be very capable, 30 starts a year guys. So when those are in your 6-7 slot, you feel really good. Come on, man.
What?
You're 30. You're 30 years old.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Go
All right,
to the
30
YouTube,
years
sub on
old.
the YouTube. See, I didn't do anything.
Oh, we got it. Yeah, please.
Hunter Dobbins, I will say this because Yankee fans are kind of having a moment about it. It is a little bit of a bummer that he said the shit that he said that never really got the chance. I'm so pro anybody who's going to be here and ignite the rivalry a little bit. So the fact that one of the guys who really stoked the flame not here, that's a bit of a bummer. The Yankees obviously have a pitcher themselves who is kind of doing a lot of the heavy lifting right now in terms of that rivalry. So maybe he can, and one that admittedly seems to have a little bit more of an impact than Hunter Dobbins would. Let's get into this aspect of it because it's unavoidable. And it's the primary thing that I'm thinking about in this deal. We'll get to the ins and outs of Contreras and his player profile, but this Heim Bloom guy in St. Louis, he might be addicted to prospects, reclamation projects, more so than the Red Sox. I think you could get anybody you want from St. Louis if you put 3 or 4 names in the return. I think Heim doesn't even look at who it is. He goes, 4 guys? Yeah, have them.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that well is drying up. That was a 78-win team last year. We already got 2 of their better players. So
there's one more.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But there's really 2 more if you whiff on Bregman. I don't even want to talk about it. There's one you really don't want to talk about that was talked about a lot last year.
Are you talking about Nolan Arenado right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy that I guarantee you, if Bregman signs elsewhere, that we'll hear some fire, and it's gonna stink. So let's just avoid that.
Yeah,
let's avoid
I can't
that
even get
entirely.
into that conversation. I can't even.
We don't have to do that right now. Luckily, we don't have to do that right now.
No.
If Bregman signs elsewhere, we may have to do that, but right now we don't have to do that. So we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about the 2 trade that we've already got 2 real Cardinals Red Sox trades. And another one that's more likely on the way than Arenado. So, yeah, but I don't know. I kind of see your point, but he has gotten some solid players, and we saw him build the Red Sox up pretty well.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if that's how you want to put it. I guess I love Heim. I guess I'm a Heim truther if you're really going to force my hand. Willson Contreras. Here's something that stood out to me a little bit. He's going into his age 34 season. Correct?
He's 100, yeah. He's super old.
Yeah, he's going into his age 34 season. Was 3 games shy of his career high last year. He had one 10-day IL stint in September for like a shoulder strain. Mm-hmm. And then that was it. Played 135 games. The year before he missed half the season, but
wow, that was our friend JD's fault. That wasn't his fault. I don't know if you've seen that video, but yeah, a little backswing action broke his arm. That was That was one of the more ridiculous freak injuries I've seen that you can't really blame him for. But I will say, to add to that, he played first base last year, so that's a lot easier than catching. So he's on a much more sustainable games played path, even though he's closing in on that AARP card.
But he also is slated to stay there. That's the thing, is like the Sox, according to Jen McCaffrey, who I trust, you should trust.
Yeah.
He's slated to be
My life.
first base in DH. Yeah, I'd trust Jen with my life. Sure, why not? I met her once. Yeah, sure. I'll trust her with my life. I'll text her right now. Jen, trust her with my life. Just want to let you know. Hey, Siri.
Joey, by the way.
Hey, Siri, text Jen McCaffrey. Hey, it's Joey Copponi. Remember me? I trust you with my life. Send it. We'll check back on that. Yeah, hit 257, 344 on base, 447 slug. That's a 791 OPS, 2.64. Now I can't. Yes, Scott, please.
May I? Is this a good time? Looks like it's right in the middle of what you got going on.
No, I think you're going to say the same thing that I am.
I don't think so. I have additional statistics.
Oh, by all means.
One thing the Red Sox didn't do a great job of last year was situational hitting and, just generally clutch performance. If you remember, they lost like 1 billion extra innings games and whatnot. I found a few stats on Contreras. 2 outs, runner in scoring position last year. He hit 344, 7 extra base hits, 33 RBIs, a 971 OPS in 71 plate appearances. High leverage, as defined by Baseball Reference. He hit 293, 10 extra base hits, 38 RBIs, 797 OPS, and 101 plate appearances. And last one, just innings 7 through 9. Now, these can be blowouts, but I just think that's interesting. He hit 263 with 19 extra base hits, 26 RBIs, and a 930 OPS and 155 plate appearances. So 971 OPS with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, 930 OPS in the later innings. Fan of that. Big fan of that.
Big fan of that. High leverage situations, as according to Fangraphs, hit 370. I don't know if you mentioned that. So I know you did
high leverage on Baseball Reference was 293. I didn't do Fangraphs. That's interesting that they clearly don't consider those the same.
Nope.
But either way,
I'm going to go with this one because it's 370. It's better. So I'm going to go with that.
Well, how many plate? Does it say the plate appearances?
For high leverage, 52.
So yeah, they consider much less to be. So BR gives high leverage 101 plate appearances. So they must have a looser definition.
Yeah, I don't like that. 164 weighted runs created plus in high leverage situations last year. Does that sound good? Is that good?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's at his worst in medium leverage. You guys do not want him when the game is whatever.
Fine. When the game's just there.
Yeah. If the game doesn't matter, he's good. If the game is on the line, he's a fucking Hall of Famer.
Yeah. If it's just kind of there, that's not really his vibe.
No. If it's like a 2-run game in the fourth, yeah.
5-3 in the fourth. Don't even put him out there. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's not gonna. No. Down by 11. That's when you get him up. That's when you get him moving around.
2-run game, though, you're going to see him sigh on his way to the plate. They're going to be playing his music, and he's going to be like, all right. I've heard it before. Yep, you play it every time. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not even going to run to first.
You know what's so funny? Just to further beat that point home, last year, bases empty, 259. Men on base, 255. Men in scoring position, 279. So, again, nobody's there. He's going to do good. He's got guys on. If a guy's on first, I mean, what is he going to do?
Who gives a shit? What, is he going to go all the way home?
Scoring position,
he's
back.
You think this guy's gonna walk 3 bases, and then that guy a pass ball happens? It's like, okay, time to walk in. Realistically, this guy could get home on this at bat.
Holy shit! I gotta lock in now.
Yeah.
So
wait, this matters now. This counts.
you're not going to get that kind of analysis on any other show. Nobody else is going to pick up on those things. I will also mention this: the stats between his time at first and his DH stats are wildly different. Yeah. So he only had 63 plate appearances as a DH last year. He hit 185. So
saw that.
Yeah.
15 games though. So who cares?
15 games. Yeah. And to be totally honest with you, I'm not positive how they were using him or when they were using him. That could have been later in the season when, they wanted to get him off his feet a little bit and the shoulder was bothering him. And those 15 games were consecutive and during a tough stretch before he went on the IL. I'm not totally sure. So I wouldn't look all too much into that, but who cares?
It's 15 games. It's 15 games.
Something to keep your eye on. Something to keep your eye on.
Your girl asked me if there was any baseball games on Saturday, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, I get that you're trying to relate, but no."
A girl asked you that? You said?
Yeah, it just made me think of that. Yeah, just was like, "Hey, because college football was on."
Yeah,
and they were like, "You're a baseball guy. Any baseball games on?" I was like, "No, there will not."
So and you're like, "Have you looked outside lately?"
Yeah,
they don't play, and then they don't play right now. Yeah,
they're not they got off season.
And that's one of those things that, like, if you're not a sports fan, you don't think of. You're like, "Oh, I don't know when the seasons are or aren't." And the first time somebody says that to you, you'll never forget it. You'll be like, "Oh yeah, of course, baseball's the summer. Of course it is." Yeah.
Yeah, she had that. I didn't even do the like harp on thing. I was just kind of like, nope, not right now, not for a little bit. I think she hurt herself in that moment.
Oh, no, that'll do it. How do you feel about Contreras? Just in a vacuum, forget the trade. Just him and as now part of the Red Sox roster.
I like it. I think he's a good player that will be even a little bit better at Fenway. I think the fit on the team is really strong as well because you have this, weird situation with first base DH. You now have a situation where you can get him and, if you want, Casas in the lineup and just have a better player at first defensively. And, just a guy that just as a 5-hitter, I think is just a really strong fit. I like that he can back up catch if you need him. I like that he's a DH and first base candidate that makes sense for this team. The only thing, his power is a little low, but I think he makes up for that with a lot of doubles. People look at home runs and just say, not a power hitter. He's only 20 whatever home runs. But if you hit 30 doubles or whatever, fine by me.
He's also a right-hand pull hitter. So, and a majority of his homers last year came on the pull side, came to left field. So, those numbers are subject to change.
Yeah, he's a fly ball guy too. He doesn't have a low path. So, it's, a lot of those balls can get over Fenway.
Yeah. So I'll go out and say it. 28 home runs for Willson Contreras in Boston in 2026.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a decent, that's like a 40% increase. It's decent.
I'm going to say like 23.
Boo. That's soft. That's so soft of you, dude.
Dude, don't call me soft. You have no idea.
Don't be soft. I won't call you soft.
Realistic. I think he's a good fit. Oh, puppies are awesome.
Yeah, but their shit is soft. Puppy. I said that was puppy shit. I don't like saying it. I don't want to say it again. Any other thoughts on Contreras before we move on? I'll tell you this, because you asked me my thoughts. I guess I'll tell you mine if you're really going to harp on it for me. There's an inescapable Tristan Casas conundrum that comes about. Craig said, whatever. He's like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter what Craig said. Craig probably said something. I'm not looking at the quote. I don't remember a word of it. It was probably something like, we have a lot of faith in Tristan Casas contributing to the major league roster and other shit like that. So whatever. I really hope that Contreras is a strong enough bat where he can contribute at DH more often than not, and that he doesn't have those splits that he had last year in those 15 games at DH. Because if you have a healthy Tristan Casas and you're not putting him out there, why? What happened? What happened?
Nothing happened. You just were so close. You
What did he
said
say?
we still have a ton of faith. He said we still have a ton of confidence and belief.
Ah.
So it was like every other word. Confidence and belief were like the two synonyms that you were just this close.
Damn.
Man.
I really thought something just happened. I thought Tristan Casas got traded right now, as I was saying.
No, that would have been.
But if you have a healthy Tristan Casas, you have to play him. That's what I'm getting at. And I don't think Casas is a DH candidate. So
a lot of people are talking about Worcester, which I think is pretty crazy.
Shut up, dude.
I'm dead serious. People are saying start him in Worcester, and then injuries will happen, and he'll find his role.
Jesus Christ!
I don't think it's time to doll back this guy.
I hate that people still have no idea what Tristan Casas is.
Well, to be fair, that's because he's never put together a full season. He's put together one, and it was still
one.
But it was like 24 home runs or something. And I was like, we were both like, once he's like, now he's like played at the major league level, this is going to be the season. And then that season hasn't happened yet because he just keeps exploding from the inside. He keeps getting hit by cars internally, which is a huge problem for him.
Well, it's better than externally.
I don't know that that's true. I think
he
could probably.
He was on pace for 40 homers in 24 before that internal car crash happened.
How many did he hit?
He hit 13.
Yeah.
In 63 games.
No, that's great. I'm a believer, to be clear, but I think there is going to be a division of people that say, well, you can put him in Worcester. You can't put Yoshida in Worcester. I'm sure.
One of them's a better player than the other. One of them's had one full season and pumped out an 856 OPS.
We're on the same page. But there is a lot of talk from people that I respect talking about Casas to Worcester.
Yeah, well, they don't have my respect anymore.
Wow.
Rob Refsnyder is a thing of the past. He's gone. Sorry. Wait, real quick. Just to wrap it up. Last thing on Contreras. He posted on Instagram like a couple hours ago. And in it, he said, quote, "To the fans of Boston, I know how much this city cares about its teams. I can't wait to play in front of you and earn that support. The Red Sox standard is championship baseball, and that's exactly what I came here to chase." So, congratulations to us and the PR team that wrote that. You guys did it. It works every time. It'll continue to work every time. It's the city champions.
More so for my colleague in a scarf and hat. But yeah.
No, it'll work on everyone.
You're the emotional side of the show, and I'm more of like the stats.
Oh, we're like left brain, right brain, you and I.
Actually, what's crazy is I had AI write an overview of our show for something I'm building, and I was just wanted to see I just needed a test filler thing before I actually wrote what I was going to write, and it said that you were the heart of the show, and I think I was like the brain or something like that. That sounds bad,
probably, but
I mean it was accurate in the sense of, you were like the voice. I think he called you the voice of the fan.
Sure. I'll take that.
And I think I brought more of like a journalistic approach is what it said, which technically is a background I have.
That's true. It's the
I
only
can pull it
background
up.
you have because the background behind you is pure white, which is kind of correct for. If we're making this left brain, right brain argument right now, look at us.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yep.
sitting
Yeah.
in my art studio in my scarf and hat, and you're just in plain black in a white room. This is
Yeah.
I can't believe it's taken us this long to figure this out.
I mean, it was a great description. I can grab it real quick. I don't know if it's really worth talking about, but I can find what AI said about us. So
it's Christmas. People want to hear this.
It said Scott provides the head to the show's heart. Scott brings a journalistic approach, statistical breakdowns, and front office analysis. Joey is the voice of the fan. It gave you credit for being a credentialed media member with a background in production. Joey delivers the passionate, often comedic take that resonates deeply with the Fenway faithful.
That's what I do. That's just what I regularly do. Every day. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, Rob Refsnyder has gone. He's gone. Our sweet Boston Rob is gone. He went to the Mariners 1 year, $6.25 million. And this is where the voice of the fan comes out of me, and I get too emotional, and I say, why can't we keep everybody? Why can't we keep everyone? 6.25, we couldn't give him 6.26. We couldn't give him an extra $10,000. Why not? Trade Duran, start Refsnyder and left every day. Yeah, it's a tough day on the fans. I can't get around that. That absolutely sucks.
Yeah, but I understand you've never questioned the value of Refsnyder. I'm a huge fan of Refsnyder and what he brought and wanted him back, but you aren't a big platoon guy, or you know, and you're not a big pinch hit guy. Like, you want to roll the best nine out there, and so this is a step in that direction.
I don't think with Alex Cora and Craig Breslow at the helm of this Red Sox ship that's going away anytime soon. I think you just lost a good platoon bat.
Well, I agree.
Like, I think that's more of what it is.
I agree.
I don't think that they
thought
changed their play style. Like,
now with those at
no, and like I love those secondary ancillary characters. Like, I love Eduardo Nunez. I love Pablo Reyes. I love Rob Refsnyder. Like, those are the guys that, like, if I see you in a Pablo jersey, if I see you in a Refsnyder jersey, I'm like, that's a fan. That's a guy who gives a shit about this team. And yeah, you never want to lose those guys. Those are the guys that stick around here. Those are the guys that you see at Fenway 15 years later, and you're like, Rob Refsnyder, he lives in Boston? Yeah, he bought a place in Watertown. Like, oh, cool. I always felt like a Boston guy. Like, that's what Rob Refsnyder is. I have some head to the heart. What?
I could see him being on a pre and post game show for Nesson for like 10 years.
Yes. And I could also see him running the Boston Marathon.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, dude, him on a post game show would be really good. That's
call my shot.
He should be doing that now. They should have given him $8 million to do that. Ugh.
I hope in 6 years we can replay this clip.
For him. On Nesson when we're hosting the post-game with him.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that job. That's a lot of driving. Not
even a little bit. I would make less money doing that and for more time. And it would that would be I would definitely not want to do that.
I was offered do I cut this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel like
I'm going to cut this. No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to cut it. I'll say it. I was offered to do the post-game show on the radio. Last year or the year before. And it made absolutely no sense for me. That's why you don't hear me on there. That's why you hear everyone knows their names. The WEEI post-game show. Come on.
Oh,
Mike
dude. Oh God. It's on the tip of my tongue. Help me out here.
Yeah.
What is it?
They know. The people know. But yeah, no, I was offered that.
A lot of time in cars.
Dude, that's so, yeah, it was a lot of, I was like, that it doesn't make any sense for me to do that. I'm also a guy that would not do well on the radio. I think that I have a voice that doesn't necessarily lend itself to the radio. So we tried that already. We were with a radio company. It didn't go well. But anyway, Rob Refsnyder.
So Rob Refsnyder's gone, is what we're trying to say.
But I have some stats. Check this out. The team last year in 2025 versus lefties hit 258 on base, 326. Without Rob Refsnyder, they batted 254 against lefties, and that on base drops all the way to 308. How crazy is that?
Without
326 to 308 without Rob Refsnyder versus lefties last year. And the average drops from 258 to 254, which, whatever.
That actually isn't nearly as dramatic as I expected.
No, I expected the average.
You don't have
OPS was too much to calculate. I couldn't do it because I did this by hand. Right. I didn't I manually went. And, I went hits plus walks, time on base.
Got it.
Minus.
Got it.
Yeah, I had to do a lot, but so I don't have OPS, but that OBP is certainly noticeable to drop 20 points because of one guy. But interesting to see how their lefty approach works from here. I mean, they just got a big right-handed bat. So do with that what you will. They could have got another big right-handed bat. Okay, we don't need to keep harping on it, Joe. We don't need to keep harping on it. Say goodbye to Rob Refsnyder. Make it heartfelt.
Bye, Bobby. I'll miss you. I will miss him. Every time he came up to bat, it was like obviously in the right situation. You're going, yep, this is gonna be damage. Mm-hmm. In the right situation, he's like a top 10 hitter. Like it's like one of those. I've always said it's like the MLB The Show ratings where it's like, oh, this guy's a 70 overall player, but he has 80 contact and power versus left-handed pitching. So it's like in this situation, he's Mike Trout right now. Mm-hmm. And honestly, when he had to be an everyday guy, he did the job.
He did. He absolutely did. I'm gonna miss him. He really became a staple. I will also posit Seattle feels right. I have faith in the Seattle faithful that they will take care of our sweet Rob. I really do. I think they're going to fall in love with him. I think that they're going to absolutely love Rob Refsnyder. I can so see, a clutch moment, a walk-off homer, or something that immediately makes people go, "Oh my god!"
I thought he was going to retire
like the steal of the century.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's going to be the steal.
Way undervalued.
$6 million. Yeah, insanely undervalued.
If he was a lefty that had those numbers against righties, he'd be like a $25 million player.
I think
he's mastered the less common appearance.
They've kept his value low, the Red Sox have, so that he will need a job in retirement to come back to NESN.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should be
Let's
fun.
get into let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. What is the name of the segment everybody loves? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Red Sox's plan A to build dream roster revealed by MLB Insider. Am I supposed to read the titles?
This doesn't really matter.
Cotillo said, Chris Cotillo of Massachusetts Live-Massachusetts said, quote, speaking to people with the Red Sox, it's clear that plan A at this point in the winter is locking down a reunion with Alex Bregman, though the sides have yet to line up on a deal to this point. With teams like the Cubs, Diamondbacks, and Blue Jays in the mix for Bregman, it's no guarantee that he returns. It is nice to know that is still their plan A and that they are not shying away from that and that they are not retreating into some cheaper plan. That is comforting in some way. What's not comforting is a list of 3 other teams that are interested and potentially a fourth, I guess, if the Mariners are actually interested, which I was told they were, but was told they weren't.
No, they were told.
Don't love that.
They were told to be interested. But I don't think they showed interest.
That's
also, they
what it
just
was.
blew their budget on Refsnyder. There's no way they can afford a second bat now.
Right.
Seattle? That was $6.25 million with incentives.
Yeah. That ain't happening. He went on to say in that same article that if Bregman does not return.
No, if he does.
If he does return.
If he comes back.
If
Plan
Bregman
A,
returns.
we're building out Plan A. We're building out Plan A here. So Plan A is Bregman.
Yeah.
And then at second base, Meyer, Romy, platoon. That was the likely scenario. And then a bullpen additions.
This is where I'm going right back to what I said before about not liking platoons, because it's just like I get the guys off their feet, but if we're gonna play Meyer, we're gonna play Meyer, right? Like a platoon, a 120 and 40 platoon, or an 80 and 80 platoon.
I don't, not 80 because it's not a 120-40 is a righty lefty platoon just because of handiness.
Yeah.
But the thing about Romy is he proved that he can be a Refsnyder level big bat against lefties. So I do want him every single game against lefties. Well, it doesn't always have to be for Meyer, but I want him playing every game they play against lefties.
You find a way to shoehorn Romy at DH,
and he can play everywhere. Well, the other thing I didn't include this in the little bullet point, but because it's obvious, Cotillo said it, but it's also just well known. It was kind of like that would likely lead to a Meyer Romy platoon, but Romy also will play other positions. And honestly, Meyer might as well, depending on what we do at third base. And if they're smart, they'll flip Story and Meyer at some point as well. But hey, whatever.
Worst comes to worst. I'm just going to say this now. I'm going to get this out in the open just in case the world implodes. Meyer played a strong third base last year.
He did.
Just saying.
Let's not have to worry about that. But also, so he also said that a veteran addition or two to the bullpen would make sense, and the Red Sox have checked in on a ton of available relievers, including Sir Anthony Dominguez and Danny Colomé. How do I say that?
Colombe?
I don't know.
Yeah, Cologne. Some people say Cologne. I don't know.
It might be. No, I think that's. I don't know.
Colombe.
Dominguez, right-hander, 31, 3.16 ERA in 62 and 2/3 innings last year. Hit it for me. Name.
What? Oh, Colombe.
Him. Yeah. He's a left-hander, which is we need really badly. He's in the Red Sox's ideal candidacy in the sense of he's 36. And he had a 2.3 ERA in 43 innings last year. So they need a lefty, and they love players that will be aged out of this team next season. So look out for him. But yeah, basically, if you had to summarize Plan A, bring back Bregman, put Meyer at second. You have a scenario where you have plus infielder in Willson Contreras at first, plus second baseman and Marcelo Meyer, and then Romy Gonzalez in that platoon role also will be a plus. Trevor Story, you hope for league average defense at short, and then Bregman is going to do the damn thing at third. You already have an elite defensive outfield, and then you throw in a couple relievers, and that's a pretty good Plan A for the rest of the offseason. If they do actually add Bregman and then a couple solid relievers that make a difference, where this team is in a good spot.
No, they are. Sir Anthony Dominguez, I like a lot because I'm afraid of him. He's a guy who his numbers shouldn't scare you, but when he's on the mound, I always feel like, damn it. Like we got to wait.
He throws hard. He throws really hard, and he led the league last year in wild pitches. So it's like, what's this guy going to do? He has no idea.
Love that. I love me a good wild thing. Our next report, dude, that we got to get to is from Rosenthal.
You're not going to believe this one. You're not going to believe this one.
No, this one's nuts. Strap in your butts here. The Cardinals and the Red Sox have also discussed a trade that would send Brendan Donovan to Boston. Donovan likely would play second base for the Sox. The Sox, obviously, they've also looked at Marte in that position. But they are looking into a trade with the Cards, which, man, could you imagine that? Because Heim Bloom used to be here. So that would be interesting if they made a trade this offseason with the Cardinals. That would be really cool.
No, Joey,
no deals. What?
They've already done that twice. This would be the third time.
Okay,
you remember how you know how the Red Sox got Sonny Gray?
Yeah, free agent Sonny Gray.
Nope. He was on the Cardinals. That was a trade. So that was a Heim Bloom.
What'd they give up for Sonny Gray?
Richard Fitz, Brendan Clark. Is that it?
No. And then Bello.
No, they didn't give up. Bello, yeah, Brayan Bello, right? That was the part I forgot. The headliner, duh, yeah. And then I don't know how I missed that. And then Willson Contreras, also from the Cardinals. We just did that. It was like the day after they traded for Willson Contreras.
He's a Cub.
Like a while ago. Yeah, he was a Cub.
He wouldn't go from the Cubs to the Cards. They don't do business together. Get out of here.
They didn't do that. Was free agency, I believe.
Free agency that long ago? What is he, 34?
Yes. Yeah, he's 34. Yeah.
So no deal is close on this Brendan Donovan deal. But they're expecting quite the return. How many years does Brendan Donovan have?
2 years.
2 years of Brendan Donovan.
Well, I don't know how many years he has ahead of him, but before he's free agent, it'd be 2 years. I have no idea how long he's going to live.
Okay. I thought you were doing the whole soothsayer thing that you do sometimes.
No, but no need to block Marcelo Meyer for 2 years of Brendan Donovan and also have to give up more prospect capital than Gray or Contreras, which I'm a little surprised by. Rosendahl saying it would bring a greater return than Gray or Contreras. That's a little
because
shocking
he's cheap.
to me. He's also really good. Yeah, that's true. And he's really good. Like, don't get me wrong. I guess he just doesn't have the. He's actually young. Yeah, all right, I guess.
He's cheap.
But
yeah,
as far as impact goes, I would put him third in terms of like how he benefits the rot. Like if we were to go out and get one of these guys, Gray's your number 2 starter. Contreras is your impact power bat. Brendan Donovan's a great contact hitter, but I don't think he makes the same overall impact on the team. He's not as good defensively.
Donovan only makes sense if you don't get Bregman, and then you move Meyer to third, and you're looking for a second baseman, and you're looking to extend him. Like it doesn't make. It's a weird. It's weird in a vacuum, and that might be why there's not progress. This might be Plan B. We just talked about Plan A. This might be Plan B.
I just wish there was a way in the MLB to acquire a player without losing other players. They need to find a way to do that.
If they ever come up with it, dude.
I feel like other teams have done similar things, but if the Red Sox can figure out how to do it, they haven't figured it out. And if they can come up with something, that would be sweet.
If they find a way to make that happen, I guarantee you the Red Sox would be doing it. So whenever they find a way to get players for like, I don't know, you get like just buy their service, just like pay them. The Red Sox are one of the richest teams in baseball. The Boston Red Sox. They'd be and
they have a Yale grad running the show. So I would assume he would know all the options, right? And obviously a guy from Yale knows that if you have the option of spending money and prospect capital versus just spending money, you're obviously going to go with option 2. So
obviously,
I guess there's just no way to do that right now, but hope, that new CBA is coming up. There's a lockout coming. Maybe they'll come up with something new.
You ever remember that there's a lockout coming and you're like, oh shit, like I really got to enjoy this season of baseball because I'm not positive like what's going to come in 2026. Like it could be a big one. It could be a really big one. There's some really big items on the table. Yeah. And in 22, there was like not that many big items on the table, and they held out till what was it? It was like mid to late February.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have severe career ramifications that depend on this. So yeah, no, it would be really bad for me personally for baseball to not happen next year. So yeah, I've thought about it. Not from like a man, I really would like. I'd nothing to do from 7 to 10 for a while. I just, a lot of commission based baseball things.
You want like groceries and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, what would we talk about? Because we'd still do a show.
Yeah. Well, would we be allowed to? I don't know if the official Red Sox podcast would be able to do a show during.
We're not. We're not.
Sorry,
don't
that
even
was
joke
3
like
years
that.
ago.
We're not.
That was 3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago.
You know, at Nesson, we weren't allowed to use because it was owned by John Henry. We weren't able to use player likeness in articles, so every single picture was just the same picture of a baseball. For when we wrote baseball articles, we should use a picture of a literal baseball in the dirt.
That's at Nesson?
That was at Nesson, yeah. Well, because it's John Henry. John Henry was part of the lockout.
Oh, right.
So they weren't allowed to use the players' likeness in the images.
That's funny.
Even though it's their players. I'm
excited for the lockout. In other news, the Red Sox are reportedly shopping a one Mr. Brayan Bello. I'm not sure who wrote this. Do you know who wrote this?
That would be a Mr. Ken Rosenthal and Will Salmon, the same thing. By the way, Salmon, he spells his name the way it's supposed to be.
Noel?
Yeah, Salmon. That's not how you say it. Salmon.
Sometimes if I'm feeling funny and sometimes I just feel like a goober, and I'll be at a restaurant and I'll order the smoked salmon, and the waiter. Oh man, dude, you should see them.
They cry laughing.
They crack up. And it gets them good. Anyways, Salmon and Rosenthal said that a rival executive said that they've been shopping Brayan Bello.
Quietly though, they're not.
Yeah, and
they've been whispering.
Rosenthal did go on to say that person said Bello's name often surfaces when teams ask about the Red Sox's young pitching.
It was even disputed, and it says on another front, a rival executive said Monday that the Red Sox have quietly shopped right-hander Brayan Bello. A characterization a person briefed on Boston's conversations disputed. That person, talking to person number 2 now, said that Bello's name often surfaces. So basically, one person said they're quietly shopping him. Second person said, I don't think that's true, but he does come up in trade talks a lot, which is kind of the same thing.
Right. Well, it's not though, because I mean, he could be saying hey, the Sox aren't shopping him. They get asked about him a lot. But
if they're entertaining that conversation,
they better have some big plans, because Brayan Bello is a firm doornail in your rotation right now.
A doornail,
more so than ever. I don't know, dude. What's a fixture in your rotation? He's a firmly planted oak tree. And he's a big maple. He's the Big Maple 2.0, Brayan Bello.
Everyone calls him Big Maple, the number 3 starter. The number 3 starter in your rotation, you call him the Big Maple. Bello, I mean, look, I'm a little torn on this because I have been anti-trading Bello, but I also would put Bello somewhat on fraud watch. Like the thing is, he had a 3.35 ERA last year in 166 and 2/3 innings. So I'm not going to act like that's not that's a number 2 right there. That's a great number 1 for a lot of guys. The way he did it was, suspect. That's why you don't watch those games and go, yeah, him and Crochet, they're in the same class. I will say at the same time, this is a career year, probably the best year that Bello will have career-wise, because he's got a 104 ERA plus over his career and a 4.16 FIP in his career. So in a way, it could be a sell high, but people talking about trading Bello, who has 4 years left, for Peralta, I don't like that, because like, how many chips are we going to push in for just this year? We've already made so many trades for, the very, very near future for 30-plus-year-old guys, 34-year-old plus guys, and it's like we can't keep doing that. I will say, Bello doesn't seem like a Breslow guy, so I could see the intrigue, just in the sense of doesn't strike out a lot of guys. His fastball has like the higher like value, but his breaking balls look cool, but and have the better batting average against and whatnot. But yeah, he hasn't really found a mix that's been dominant, I'll say. And so you do expect some natural regression next year, because it did feel like a lot of things broke his way last season. He was always in trouble.
I get the argument of selling high on Bello. It just thins your team. Even if he's,
I agree,
85% of what he was last year, it's a guy you need in your rotation. I just don't understand how you can like function without Bello right now for a full season. Like, I think I understand, like, I'm trying to run through, like, okay, Oviedo's here now. Okay. Like, Cutter should be back. Okay. Totally will probably take a step forward. Early will probably be starting in the rotation, but it feels like a big handicap to take Bello away. I will say this though about Bello, I'm 100% done. It is December of 2025. And that this conversation ends here. This does not travel into 2026. I will no longer entertain any conversation about Brayan Bello developing. There is no more 100%. Of well, there's still development, and like you expect him to take a step forward, and like he's still learning. No, Brayan Bello's a major league pitcher, and
has been for a while.
And we know what he is now too. It's not, well, is he going to take the next step forward and be the number 2? You saw last year, more or less best case scenario. Yeah. Like that's what to expect from Brayan Bello. Not to expect. That's what to hope for with Brayan Bello. So done with the conversation about him evolving beyond this.
What I would say on your point there before about, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to remove a player of his caliber ahead of the season. I agree. I think it's very hard to envision this team being better without having him a part of the mix. I think the only reason for is if you were to go into like a trade value lab. If he puts out a 4.3 ERA next year, 4.4 ERA next year, you're going to go, man, we could have traded him for a real piece last year, and he just got exposed as kind of being a 3-4 pitcher that doesn't have the strikeouts or whatever to uplift. He doesn't even have the, when he gets older, the projections would get even worse. So I think it's just from a value standpoint, he'll never have more value in all likelihood. I think it's a good bet to say this is the peak of his trade value. However, this is not where this team is right now. They're trying to win. They're pushing the chips in. They keep trading for 34-year-olds, 36-year-olds. So if you're going to do that, you can't be going the other way as well by trading a young, controllable piece to try and get something that makes more sense.
A very controllable piece. They extended Bello. Do you think people forget that? They extended Bello. So, I mean, any kind of trade on a great contract, like despite how he's going to age. So, if you are talking about moving him, a return would have to be substantial in terms of control too. Like you mentioned, Peralta or any other 1-year deal doesn't make a ton of sense right now. This is not, I don't know if right now is push the chips in time as much as it is like get back to where you just were and maybe a step forward
Yep.
from there. Your young core is here and developing. Like the next 3-4 years, the Sox are going to be going for it. It's not this year make or break.
They're making too
2026
many
bust.
trades for old guys and giving up a lot of young talent. So they are doing some things wrong. They could have avoided a lot of that with some money, but whatever. It doesn't matter. That's why the Dodgers will always be good, but don't worry about that. Whatever.
In other news, last piece of news here, Kazuma Okamoto. The Sox are running out of time. If they're going to make a move, they gotta do it soon. He has to sign by January 4th, correct?
Yep.
He turns 30 in June. A lot of people are expecting that he's going to move to first base, but he has been at third in Nippon Professional Baseball, NPB, in Japan. He's been at third. He won like the equivalent of the Gold Glove over there in Japan at
Two
third.
times. 2021 and 2022. So he's capable.
Absolutely capable of playing third base, but they're expecting him to move to first for some reason. Rosenthal noted that the Pirates had interest. They have since signed Ryan O'Hearn. So the field has thinned. Those pesky Pirates are no longer going to stand in your way.
Those. You don't got to worry about the Buccos anymore. So that's good. One less deep pocket to worry about.
So he's basically here. Give me a percentage chance on your gut.
On my gut? Yep. So here's the deal. I would say 15%, only because I don't think the timeline is going to work out really well. With the Contreras move, the only other spot he could possibly go is third. I think the only way the Red Sox entertain that is if Bregman is off the board. And I don't so basically the only scenario where this makes sense is if Bregman signs before January 4th and then the Red Sox say, all right, this is the next best plan. We're going to take Okamoto and just put him at third and see how it goes. I don't know that makes sense. I think before Contreras, I would have put a lot higher number on this.
What do you think about this scenario? Conversations continue with Alex Bregman. Mm-hmm. But January 2nd comes, January 3rd comes, and there's not a lot of progress in those negotiations. And then they pull the trigger on Okamoto.
You'd have a lot of unhappy people.
Yeah.
I think that would be them saying, we're not spending above the second apron. We do not care about winning. That was all a joke.
Or is it them being extra cautious and being like, I guess we have to implement plan B now because plan B expires. And if plan A doesn't work out, then we can't just jump to plan C.
Yeah, but the only reason plan A wouldn't work is because you're being cheap bastards.
Yeah.
Like they could just pay Bregman the money that they have and he would return because he had a good time last year. So you could just pay him.
The whole time?
Yeah.
You can't think of one moment where he had a bad time?
For him, no. I'm not going to say everyone in his circle had a great time every second of the whole time. He had a good time the whole time.
I don't know. I heard otherwise.
Okay. I think he's happy. I think he'd come back. You don't think he'd come back?
I think he'd come back. I just don't think he was happy the whole time. I can think of like an instance where
he hurt his hamstring. Yeah.
It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. Empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. What do you got? It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott.
All right, dude. I got a story, but I'm going to let you go first because mine's like a good Christmas story to end on.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have is I just realized I didn't give any information about Okamoto, and there's probably a lot of people that don't know the inner workings of his career. Maybe
Yeah.
even one other person on this show. So I'm not going to name names, but I'll provide the information, see if you can guess. So last year he was hurt for much of the season. He only played 69 games in 2025, but he hit 327 with 21 doubles, triple, and 15 homers. That's insane. And then the year before that, he was actually healthy, 143 games played. He hit 280 with 37 doubles, 27 homers. He, prior to those 2 years, had 6 consecutive seasons of 30 home runs or more. And like I said, he has 2 Gold Gloves at third base, although many expect him to play first at the big leagues. The last thing I would say, I think there's been this, oh, well, he hit whatever in Japan, but it's different. This is the big leagues. And then they roll out their top talent every year in the World Baseball Classic, or every 3 years in the World Baseball Classic. And that kind of proves that maybe the gap isn't what we thought. I mean, they beat Team USA with a loaded superstar group. And we've seen a lot of Japanese players come over and dominate. I think a lot of people in Boston would critique Yoshida, but honestly, his biggest problem has been health. He's still, I mean, what is he? Like, he came over, transitioned, really no problem in terms of not being overmatched. What was his, let's see, he's a career 282 hitter. So, I just think there's a lot of like, oh, well, yeah, he did that in Japan. It's like, well, Japan's just as good at baseball as us. Their top guys are just as good as our top guys. Who's
100%.
the American that's as good as Otani? Who are we trotting out there?
Yeah.
Not a lot of American pitchers as good as Yamamoto. Sasaki's about to show it this year.
Yeah, I think that gap has been thinning for years, and I think now it's at its thinnest. So I think the other thing that people might be hearing when you say all that, because you were like, okay, well, last year this, and 2 years ago this, and the 4 years prior to that, is like, oh, are his best years behind him? And like, how old is this guy? He's 29 years old.
Yeah.
He's 29. So
they just start playing in like 18. They get drafted out of high school, a lot of them, and then they have like 10 years in Japan, and they're like 28.
Yeah. So this is not some has been former Japanese all-star. This is a guy entering his baseball prime. Got anything else in that brain you want to empty up?
Nope.
All right. I got a little story for you. There's a little sappy, emotional Christmas story for you, dude. So I'm swinging by Barnes and Noble.
Can you make it funny?
I'm swinging by the mall, right?
No, not like not like that. I don't care about sappy or emotional, but I like if you do it funny.
No, you'll like this story. You like the story. It's good. It's community and shit. It warmed the Christmas.
All right, I'll be honest
heart.
though at the end.
Yeah. Be honest at the end. Be honest the whole time.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we're leaving the mall, right? And I'm like, oh, I got to swing by Barnes and Noble to grab my sister a gift card. My sister doesn't listen to the show. I don't know why. I was like, oh no, I got to cut that. She doesn't listen. And I'm waiting in line, huge line at Barnes and Noble. And then they have 12 cashiers open, right? We're waiting in line, and I'm with Sebastian, and he's like, oh, Daddy, look at this. Like, there's a Bluey book. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then he goes over to the DVDs, and he's like, look, they have this movie on DVD. I'm like, that's really cool, too. And he points out something else. And I say to the guy behind me in line, I'm like, definitely should have come here alone. Because this is all good stocking stuff that he's pointing out to me right now. And they're all cheap, and I don't want to come back here. It's December 22nd. It was yesterday. Mm-hmm. I was like, I should have come here alone. And I get up to the front, and I go to the cashier, and I'm bringing out the gift card and whatever. And the guy who had been behind me in line, like, calls out to Seb and is like, "Are you dressed like Buddy the Elf? Like, what? That is so cool. Let me see that. Come here." And like, at first I'm like, "What is he doing?" And then he starts like showing him stuff on like the stand there. He's like, "Oh, look, they got bookmarks and they got this." And they go, "Oh, look, there's Santa on that." And I realize like he's distracting him so I can grab. And so I start like quickly loading stuff over to the cashier, like grabbing the books, grabbing the movie, whatever. And Seb like goes to turn around and other people like realize what was going on. And the line like kind of like swarmed around Seb and is like, "Oh my gosh, are you a real elf? Are you?" And like distracted him for a moment while I quickly went and started cashing out. And the cashier was like, I could see like getting misty. She's like, "That's very sweet what they're doing." And like quickly checked me out and gave me the bag. And Seb just thought he was like the star of the show, was just leaving like, wow, like those people were really nice. And, you know, completely oblivious, went and just like climbed into the car as I'm like carrying a big bag of shit that I just bought for him. And oh dude, it was really nice. It was cool. Like I left, I gave those people a very hearty Merry Christmas. I don't know if you ever just throw out a Merry Christmas from your heart, but I said it like I was in a Hallmark movie because I felt like I was in one. So if you were one of those kind folks at Barnes and Noble, God bless ye, merry gentlemen. So at the end of the day, Scott, that's what Christmas is all about. Swarming kids in a store.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like
Without
that.
Parental consent.
I think so. I think that's what we arrived on.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. It's a cool story.
Take care of yourselves out there. Take care of each other. And drive careful. The roads are slick. Text me when you get home.
Yep. Everybody text Joey when they get home.
Yeah. Text me when you get home. Roads are bad.
Joey Copponi.
Go slow. If you need an Uber, just you need a ride. Seriously. And you can stay here. You can stay here. I have a couch. You can stay here.
No big deal.
Don't go driving.
2-seater?
Don't go driving.
2-seater or 3-seater?
I have a big old sectional. I got like a U-shaped sectional. Yeah. I have like the Kanye West couch. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Like the whole couch is a bed that like takes up the whole room. It's I got a big boy.
So you're in a good spot.
I'm serious about couch shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I got uninvited to your Oscars event, so I didn't. Grammys? Oscars? I don't remember.
Oscars.
Yeah.
Well, because the Oscar party fell through. Like 3 people came, and I was like...
So nobody came?
Nobody came. Dude, I'm thinking about doing it this year at a public place, so you will be invited there. Yeah. Well,
I'll be invited to a public place. That's awesome.
Just come to my house. Hey, New Year's resolution. Come to my home. Come on over.
All right. Well, it would have to be in the summer because...
man. We'll have to address it then.
Yeah, we'll just deal with it then, but I'm definitely not... It's going to have... Because you're going to be like, come to the bars and stuff. Yeah. It's right by me. I did that in the summer. Walk around. Bar crawl.
There we go.
We said we were going to do that. We never did.
This is the year. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Live it up out there from our family to yours. And follow us on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow Scott at Scott NEville 46. And we will be back after this thrilling series of gifts from a one Mr. St. Nick. For Scott NEville, I'm Joey Copponi. Go Sox, kid.